Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Psych Sessions. This week I've got an amazing story for you guys. It's all about the first time that I got an assistant psychologist job. Now this video I'm going to be talking about the actual interview of me getting an assistant psychologist job, which was absolutely scary because I'd never had an interview for an AP position before. And in other videos in the next couple of weeks, I'll talk about kind of my first days of being an assistant psychologist and things like that, just to give you guys a little bit of an insight into what level of experience that you guys need to get assistant psychologist jobs, and also what it's actually like when you get one and your first few days and things like that. So I'll start off with the interview, which was, well, basically anyone that's ever read anything of PsychAssist or, been on any of our websites or watched our YouTube videos and things like that know that when I was first applying for assistant psychologist jobs about 3 years ago, my mantra was just apply. I literally applied for anything and everything. And at that moment in time, all I had was about 11-12 months of support work experience. Now, lately, I've been getting a lot of messages from psychology graduates saying, PsychAssist, I've got this amount of years experience in doing X, Y, and Z. Do you think I've got a chance of getting an AP position? And my answer is yes. You could have 6 months support work experience and have a chance of getting an AP position. You could have 3 months of being a support worker and still have a chance of getting an AP position. Whether you get it is another thing. Now, for me, like I said, I had about 11-12 months of support worker experience before I actually got an AP position. Now, some people that I'm speaking to, they've been support workers for 2-3 years and they're still asking the question of, do you think I can still get an AP position? Well, of course you can. It's not about how much experience you have. It's about how well you can reflect on your experiences and how well that you portray that when you go for interviews and on your application. So I'll tell you about the interview that I had, which was completely scary because I'd never had an AP interview in my life. So I had no idea what I was coming for. So for me, just getting an interview was like a victory. I was like, yes, I've got an AP interview. Whether I get it or not, that's irrelevant. I don't really care. Well, obviously you say that to yourself. So I remember literally driving to the interview, and in my head, my heart starts to pound and start thinking, oh my God, like, well, what if I actually get this? What if what if this happens? What if that happens? And I started getting excited. And what they said before the interview, they said, what we want you to do is we want you to basically write about a client or a case that you've worked on that's gone well, and a case that you've worked on that hasn't gone so well. So here's me with literally, and when I say I'm 100% being honest here, I had half a sheet of A4 paper filled in that was my case example. And I remember getting out the car and going to the front entrance of where the building is for this AP interview. And I basically saw this girl. And I could tell that she was coming for an interview as well because she was dressed really smart. She was just coming straight out after me. I'm pretty sure that the people that she was coming out from were the people that interviewed me. So I was thinking, okay, this person's a contender. She literally, and I can't stress this enough, I had half a sheet of A4 paper. She had a stack this big of papers all about the clinical experience that she's had. At that point, I thought to myself, there's no way I'm getting this. Absolutely no way of getting this, because how can I compete? How can I compete with a girl that has that much of evidence of kind of things that went well and things that didn't go so well? How? But at that moment in time, I thought to myself, well, Abdi, you could either turn around and walk away and don't even bother going to the interview, or you could, just go for it. There's no other way to say it. I thought to myself at that moment, I could either run away or I could just go for it. And in my head as well, I thought, well, if there's no way that I'm going to get it, I might as well do it. I might as well go for the interview and turn it into story time. Because for me, I feel like I'm a really good storyteller. And I just thought to myself, the only thing I can do is I can just reflect on my own experiences, just reflect on my experience of being a support worker, and hopefully they'll like it. I literally turned that interview into story time. I sat there and I told stories about, clients that I've worked with, good and bad. And I was brutally honest. I remember at one point I said, I sat with a client and I had no idea what I was doing. I said that in an interview. And miraculously, and I don't know how this happened, but 2 days later, I got a phone call saying, we want you. You are by far the best candidate. And I remember 6 months after I started, asking my line manager, who was the person that interviewed me, and I said, there was a girl that came in before me and she had a stack this big. Why did you choose me and not her? And she point blank said to me, Abdi, she came in, and no disrespect for her, if you're watching this, no disrespect to you, but she came in and it was almost robotic. When we asked her a question, there was no feeling behind it. There was no reflection of, well, I could have done this a bit better, I could have done that. She went into that interview and she portrayed herself as if she was a perfect clinician. And that's exactly what they don't want. Now, the reason why I'm making this video is just to show you, anyone that's watching this now that's thinking, I've had 6 months, 12 months, 18 months worth of support work experience, but I still don't have a shot of getting one. Oh, it's too competitive. Oh no, it's only the best that they take on to be an AP. If you're watching this and you've got those thoughts, just apply. Just apply. I guarantee that if you just apply and put yourself out there and reflect and be ready to, if you do go for an interview, to be able to say to them, listen, I am still developing. I am not the finished product. I am still developing. And I need this position and I need your help to help me develop my clinical practice. I guarantee if you go into an interview for an AP position, regardless of how much experience you have, if you go in there being very humble and just say to them, listen, this is for my own development and I just want to learn. I'm a blank canvas. I want to learn. I guarantee that good things will happen. The best advice that I ever got about going for any type of interview was when you get shortlisted for an interview, regardless of what other people have, someone might have a 2-1, 2, whatever. They might have a master's, PhD. On that day, it's all about how you are on that day. It's how you answer questions. It's how personable you are. If you come across as a nice, genuine person, you're more likely to get offered the job. Stop thinking that you have to be perfect. You don't have to be a perfect clinician to get an AP position. You don't. All you have to do is show them that you're willing to learn and you can recognize your mistakes and you've learned from them and you're willing to learn more and develop yourself more. So if you're watching this and you're stressing about not getting interviews or should I apply for this AP position? No, I don't have enough experience. Just do it. Because I guarantee the quickest way not to get an AP position is by not applying. Just apply. See what happens. Go through your personal statement, tailor it. See, okay, what do they want as a job description? What's their person specification? How do I match this? And link it. Literally, at one point, I was bullet pointing my personal statement with the job description saying, I've met these criteria by this, and reflect on it. Show them that this is what, this is the experience that I've got, this is the experience that I've had, and this is what I've learned from it. Always tell them what you've learned from it, because without it, you're just telling them what you've done without telling them how you've developed. So if you're watching this, I really hope that my story, and again, that was like 3 years ago. So hopefully my story will be able to inspire you to think, you know what, if I can do it, and I guarantee, I'm not saying this to put myself down or anything like that, but believe me, if I can do it, you definitely can do it. Okay? So thanks for watching this video. And if you need anything, any type of, if you want to ask us any questions, just send us a message on any of our social medias and we will get back to you. We're here to help you. So use us, ask us any questions, and I'll see you next time.